Your next project is going to be called the Something Out of Nothing project. One of the things that you're going to be pushed on in this project is how you can create something out of something that you might not think of as very interesting. But the more that you push yourself and the camera angles that you use and the settings that you use to adjust how the picture looks, you're going to be pushing yourself creatively to come up with a new way to see something that maybe you've seen a lot of before. I want you to choose a kitchen appliance that you see every day, and I want you to photograph that object in 20 different ways. So what you can see on my screen here is I've chosen to use a toaster for this example, and I began photographing the toaster from different angles and adjusting my exposure and adjusting the lighting that I was using and the camera angle that I was using to make the pictures look unique. So your goal is to have 20 unique photos that you take, and you're going to sort out your top 9 from that to push into a grid and to have that be your final way of seeing it, is your most 9 unique ways out of the 20 that you've been able to push yourself. So when you're taking your pictures, you can take them with whatever app you'd like. I suggest using the Lightroom app if you don't have access to a real camera. So with this, again, we can adjust our exposure to make the picture brighter or darker. I found myself using a lot with manual focus when I was getting macro. So getting in close in on an object so that I can change my area of focus. If you have multiple lenses on your camera, on your phone, you can switch between telephoto and wide angle to get a different look on how the object looks. You could even turn the flash on or off on your device to change how the lighting goes. But these are all different ways that you can adjust how the picture is going to look to make each picture really unique. After you've taken your pictures, you're going to want to rate which ones are best. In Lightroom, we can do that by clicking in on an image and being on the top here in Rate and Review. If you go to Edit and then back to Rate and Review, you can go back and forth between how you want to operate the program. So to flag it like you want to use it, you can go upwards on the screen. You'll see the little flag was added in there. So as you go from image to image, you can decide, oh, I think that one's pretty good, or maybe you really don't like how it looks, and you can rate them, so that way you can pick out your top 9 that you're going to be using. So then when we go back to all photos, on the top of the screen we can hit the little filter button that's in the middle area on the top there, and we can make it so that it's just the flagged pictures. So from there, count up to see that you got 9. I've got more than 9, so I'm going to select from there. So I'm just going to select here which 9 I really think are going to be best to use. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to share them out to my camera roll. After they've been shared out, I'm going to go to Photoshop Express, and I'm going to put all these 9 into a collage. So when you open up Photoshop Express, you might be in the edit version. It's reading all the pictures that are in your camera roll. So if you go to collage, you can select all 9 pictures. Then you can go to next. And you can choose if you want it to be in a grid. There's lots of options for how you can make your project look. You decide what looks best for you, for how you want it to look. I'm not going to tell you you have to have it a certain way. The most basic would be probably a standard grid like this. You can shuffle them up just by clicking the shuffle button within the grid symbol on the bottom. But you can also click and drag them around to swap places. with how they look. So let's say that you wanted to have a slightly different exposure on a picture. Well, you could edit in Lightroom before you export them out, or you can actually do that right within the application here. So you might click on the edit symbol down here. So I clicked on edit. I'm just going to do some basic edits to this one. Maybe we do something with contrast. So I turn the flash on this one. If you really wanted to make it look a certain way within the grid, you could crop it a certain way. You can affect the color, so you could change it so that way it is black and white. You can really make them look however you want. Then go back to collage to change how it looks. So keep going through each of your pictures to make them look how you want. And after you're happy with how it looks, we're going to click on the symbol in the upper right-hand corner of your screen so we can save and share it. And we can put it right back on our camera roll. Okay, from there you'll find it in your camera roll to be able to turn in on Schoology.